And there's a classic example with a movie called Rock and Rule. Do you remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
It was one of the first big animated features to come out of Canada. Mm-hmm. And they took all these students and put them to work who were coming out. They were coming out of this college called Sheridan. I worked with a lot of people from Sheridan, by the way. And I'm thinking you know some of them. Mm-hmm. And this was back like in, I think the movie started back in the early 80s, maybe early 70s. Mm. They spent 3 years making this fucking film, man.
Wow.
And the movie is incredible looking. Mm-hmm. The artwork, amazing, out of this world.
Yeah.
But the story, that is fuck. Okay, let me describe the story.
I still don't know what the hell.
Now it's a cult classic. Yeah. I mean, and it's a great movie to look at. You've seen it. I mean, it's a great movie. Every kid has caught this on TV and been like, "What is this movie?" And it's had a resurgence. Right. And but during the making of that film, they designed characters and then redesigned them after they started animating. They had to throw away scenes that people put hard work into, put them in the dumpsters, and this is and I read this in the the DVD box. I'm not making this. I just read it the other night, and I was like, wow, I didn't know all this about this movie. They also had they changed voices in the middle. They were writing a script as they went along. Oh, wow. And here's the story they ended up with. Okay, now here's how it starts out.
Right,
the nuclear war has happened. Mm-hmm. The only survivors are dogs, cats, and rats. They've mutated and evolved. We thinking we're going to get some apocalyptic road warrior type thing. Exactly. No, it switches gears and says, a rock band that's trying to make it as a rock group is struggling to survive. And a legend rock star comes to town. Mm. And you're thinking, okay, so it's going to be, all right, it's crazy now, but it's a musical about this rock band in a future world, and they look like animals.
Right.
Okay. No, they got to even go crazy then. The aging rock star wants to summon a demon to the earth so that he may take over the planet. He needs one voice, one perfect voice to do it with. That perfect voice is that girl in that rock band. I'm like, who the fuck did you think was going to like this shit?
Like the Blondie type
the Blondie character. Yeah. Kids or anybody who's an animation enthusiast, go watch this movie if you haven't heard of it already. You probably have, because it's gotten more popular. Rock and Rule. R-U-L, not R-O-L-L. It's a great movie. It's from a studio called Nelvana. And because of that movie, Nelvana is like one of the most successful animation studios today. You've seen that polar bear symbol at the end of a card. Yeah, that's Nelvana. Wow. This movie, they premiered it. They did a test screening and premiered it somewhere. Had about a dozen people there. They were like, fuck. All right, we bombed with this one. But all their mistakes, they went back and remanaged better. And
learn from it.
Learn from your mistakes.
Just like we'll learn from our mistakes. And Corey,
we make a lot of them.
And Corey's terrible drawings.
Exactly. What? John
Quit your crying. Draw better, stupid.
He just turned this whole side around.
Did the bosses call you Corey?
We heard this guy saying you're a piece of shit. But no, so... With that said, I really do appreciate.
Hey Corey, I like your
criticism.
Cartoony drawings.
Hey,
coloring book drawings.
I told John Kricfaluski, man, look, I wrote that comment, which he'll probably never read, or if he does, who cares? He won't ever answer me back. But I did say in there, I said, I'm doing the best I can, man. You know, what can I do?
But you know what? I'll let you in on a secret, Corey.
What?
He wrote me last night. He's like, "You co-host, I like. I like. All these other schmoes, forget about it. Me and you need to work together." And I'm like, "Who are you?" All
right. So, okay, we're coming to the near the end of the show. Let's go ahead and get into some email here.
Email time.
Yeah, email. Speaking of animation, Jay wrote in and said, "Yo, I just saw Igor yesterday. Igor is that new CG movie that's coming out.
It good.
It really doesn't. Yeah. I'd hate to like sit up here and talk about defending my artwork and then talk about this.
That artwork looks.
It looks like they just kind of put it out fast. It looks like that movie. You've probably seen it. Igor is every mad scientist has an Igor, and the Igors are they're pretty much the assistants who are shit on and
they're the slaves.
They're the slaves of the sun, and so the Igors want to actually come up and start doing brilliant things, and one Igor rises up, and this is his story. Jay says he saw it at a screening yesterday, and it sucked ass. Do you guys plan on doing a review? No, not that you did one. No.
Why do we have to torture ourselves?
I don't think they're going to have a screening here, and so we'll have to catch it later.
And if there's no screening, obviously, it's because it sucks ass, probably.
Yeah. It looks like a movie that would have been better off being done in stop motion.
It looked like a straight to DVD movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, people talked about how CG was actually going to turn animation around, and that's the other thing about these animators. Yeah. I don't blame them for feeling like they do, because classically trained animators are being kind of pushed aside for people who do stuff on computers.
Sorry, it's the future.
Well, it is, but I see there is a sort of with Disney doing more CG stuff, and people working in Flash and whatnot. The art of 2D animation has become something where it's just pushed aside, and I can see why animators are defending that. I mean, it's a classic art form. It's not going anywhere. It'll still be around, but things have to be done so fast now.
Right. Well, honestly, they're afraid of losing their jobs. I mean, what the hell do you need a 2D animator for if you're going to do it in a computer? And I'm sure a lot of those guys are right now learning to do all this stuff, and which they should. They should do it on Flash. Yeah, do it on Flash. Hey,
as a matter of fact,
get with the times.
Working in Flash, kids. Let me tell you something. This is no joke. This is your Uncle Corey talking to you. Flash animators these days are getting more work than 3D animators. So I mean, there you go. But I'm looking at something like Igor. It looks like, for all the glory and wonder that CG animation had, now they're starting to put out some movies that don't look that good.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, it has to happen. Come on. I mean, that's just people learn how to make great films, but you're still going to have the people that are still going to be making those shitty films that you're going to. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's going to happen. So get used to it. I'm sure you're going to be seeing it a lot more too. So especially with Pixar. I'm sure there's some stupid studios out there that are like, we got to compete with these guys, and if this is what these 3D animated films that are coming out, we got to compete. So let's try to do it with the budget we have, and it's not going to work.
Anything that you think is new. I remember when 3D animation happened, they said we're never going to see stop motion again. It's like, come on, nothing dies once it's created. Nothing dies, and it's always going to come back. Once this trend is out the way, it's always going to come back. And what do we do? When CG came out, they said 2D animation is gone. 2D animation is more successful than it ever has been on television. And to a certain extent, even Disney's starting to bring that back with the Frog Princess. So, nothing ever goes away. Let's go ahead and move on to the next email here, which says, I don't want to hear your opinion on this.
All right.
And this is from the ultimate Canadian movie guru, the ultimate co-host.
Ultimate.
Yes.
In Canada?
In Canada.
Wow, I didn't know they had ultimate anything in Canada. But hey, I learn something new every day, Corey.
There you go. Well, they have an ultimate movie guru. Apparently, he's the only one. I mean, the ultimate. When you want to seek out some movie guru, you better go to him.
Okay,
I will. All right. So he says, it's funny because he's asking us a question. He's the ultimate movie guru. You should know this.
Yeah, he's not so ultimate.
Yeah, he's asking us.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Guru.
But he does ask a good question, and I have no real answer for this. He says, I just realized that there are certain movie stars that are rhythms of previous generations, i.e. Heath Ledger as today's James Dean, or Megan Fox as the next Angelina Jolie, or maybe even Shia LaBeouf as the younger Robert Downey Jr. Never heard that one before. So what my question is to you is, what do you think could be the next Jack Nicholson or Marilyn Monroe or the next Sam Jackson? And that's from the ultimate Canadian movie guru.
Look, that's a hard question, Corey.
Well, let me tell you something. I hate when people do that. Let these people be who they are.
Exactly.
How come generations down we can't have the next Heath Ledger or something? I mean, we create new icons all the time. When everybody, there was a time when everybody was comparing somebody who had sort of this mysterious, sullen way of acting. They said that's the next Brandon. What's his name? Streetcar Named Desire. Godfather.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. They compared Mark Ruffalo to the next Marlon Brando.
Oh my God!
And I've heard James Dean be thrown around everywhere. James Franco.
James Dean.
And
he played James Dean, for crying out loud.
And look. Nobody's going to be the next anything, okay? These people, and Christian Slater for a long time, they said was the next Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson,
and now they dropped that.
Yeah, of course.
These people, I mean, we don't need another.
We don't.
Another previous actor or actress. We want to see what new people can do.
Exactly, and that's what we're looking for. At least that's me as a film goer. I'm not looking for the next anything. Yeah, I think there's only one exception, which I've said. Obviously, Christian Bale. I always say I think that's our generation's Robert De Niro, just as far as the devotion he puts into his roles. Not so much that he looks like Robert De Niro, but
he has that level.
He has that level
the
to
intensity.
where the intensity. He takes the work seriously. I mean, he's willing to almost kill himself for a role, and Robert De Niro used to do that. But yeah, I am not looking for the next, Jack Nicholson, because I mean, honestly, it's just like the people who hate their remakes. Why do I want to see somebody remake something that's been done the right way the first time? I don't want to see an actor try to emulate another actor, which I respect, like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. I don't want it, because honestly, that's a turn off for me. When I see that, even if I see somebody trying to, in some ways, add that to their performance by picking certain roles, I'm just like, I don't care. You're not Robert De Niro, so stop it. Stop trying to be him.
We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need.
We have these actors who they are today. Let's cherish them for who they are.
Exactly.
Now that Heath Ledger's dead, I don't want to think of him as James Dean.
And the thing is, I don't think it's funny he brought Heath Ledger up, because I honestly don't think of Heath Ledger as any other actor. I think of Heath Ledger as who he is, Heath Ledger. I mean, after watching him as the Joker, I mean, he totally got lost in that character, and I don't even think about Heath Ledger. All I think about, hey, that's the Joker, and that's what I want from actors. I want them to fool me into believing the character that they are portraying, to where I don't have to worry. The one thing I hate, I'll go into this. The one thing I hate about a lot of these celebrity actors is that a lot of times their celebrity gets in the way of the film. I mean, Tom Cruise, a perfect example. It's hard to watch a Tom Cruise movie because you think of all the craziness that gets wrapped up in Tom Cruise. Even to some extent, Brad Pitt, because you see Brad Pitt, you think about him and Angelina adopting kids and all that craziness, and it just, I don't really care for when they're acting cool on screen. I'm like, you know what? I'm not here to see you act cool. I'm here to see a story. I'm here to see
you're exactly right. I always thought, like, when you get to that level of hype and notoriety, you need to pull back and do smaller movies.
Yes.
Brad Pitt being in Burn After Reading, perfect for him. Now, we talk about Brad Pitt being in a big movie like Thor. We're just going to keep hearing more and more about Brad Pitt's personal life. And what are we going to see? We don't see Thor. We see Brad Pitt.
Right.
So that I totally agree with you.
And that's a perfect example is the whole Katie Holmes episode. I remember, of course, I went and saw Batman Begins in the theater, and I remember as soon as Katie Holmes jumps up on the screen, there are girls in back of me laughing. There's for no reason. She didn't say anything. As soon as she pops up on the screen, these girls are laughing, and they start talking. You kind of hear them whisper about her and Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, don't remind me of that bullshit. I'm trying to watch my Batman movie, all right?
Exactly.
You broad, shut up already, all right?
Shut the fuck up.
Keep that shit at home. But I can't blame him. Yeah, I mean, and it's sad. It's sad when that happens. And,
and you're right. We just need to kind of let these people be who they are. I don't want to see anybody be anybody else. And when that happens, it does kind of ruin a movie. I mean, so let's go ahead and move on to the next question here. Somebody asked us about.
Make it a good one, Corey.
It's gonna be. I gotta read a silly one every now and then. Somebody says, "This is from Hayden." He says, he goes on a long thing about Pokemon, but he leads up to this.
No.
I don't know if you or one of the crew likes Pokemon, but Misty, one of the characters in the show, one of Ash's friends, has left the show, and after that, it is not what it used to be. And that's from Hayden. I was like, okay, I'm reading this. I'm like, it's a fucking cartoon. How the fuck does a cartoon character leave the show? What, did she want more money or something? What the fuck?
We need to find this guy and we need to interview him. And we need to find out how old he is, why does he care, what channel is he still watching the Pokemon Adventures? I thought they canceled that show God knows how many years ago.
What are they talking about?
I'm more interested in him than that broad leaving the goddamn show.
Misty has left the show?
I know. That's like
co-host.
Wow.
I mean,
that is breaking news.
The show can't go on without her.
It can't.
I think
she was the soul of this goddamn show.
I think
Corey.
Nude photos of her are going around the internet.
Here, let me go. Oh, Corey, what is she doing with Pikachu? No, man, that is unnatural.
Let me tell you something.
Pokemons don't do that.
The only reason I read this is because I've seen every Pokemon movie in the theater that's come out.
What?
Yes, at least Almost. And there have been one or two later on that I missed, but there were times when I went to go see and there was one that I really liked because they had this really cute Pokemon short, like with Pikachu at the beginning. But as far leaving it, man, you
are no man.
You telling me this fucking cartoon characters left the show? I mean, so what's next? Is Pikachu gonna want to go into a movie career?
Exactly.
He's gonna want to take on other roles.
Pikachu is moving on.
Yeah, Pikachu
is the next Robert De Niro. I'm telling you. Pikachu is the next Robert De Niro.
Yes, you ask who is the next James Dean? Pikachu.
Yeah. He is going to be in the remake of Taxi Driver. Pikachu is going to be driving that damn taxi. At the end, he's going to go crazy, give himself a mohawk, and he's going to take on criminality.
You're talking to me.
You're talking.
There's no one else here.
I'm the only one here.
You must be talking to me.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next thing.
I'll kill you, Pokemon. I'll kill you.
Oh, this is a good one right here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the name down, but it says,
sorry.
Corey, after hearing that Tommy Lee Jones suing Paramount story, I looked him up to see if he has indeed been addicted to people, and discovered that he was in an entire series of Japanese commercials for Boss Coffee as Alan Jones, Earth Investigator.
What?
I don't know what the fuck that is, but and he says, I am not lying, man. These are real ads. Watch them. Plus, I want to see how this plays out on a cold one. So we're reading it here, and I have not watched the videos yet. But I'm not. See, I didn't.
What
really
did he mean by play this out?
I don't know what he meant, but I did not read this whole thing.
Yeah.
I read that he's in Japanese commercials, and I posted the email, but I didn't read this whole thing as him as being Alan Jones, Earth Investigator. I don't know what the fuck that is. But hey, man, let me tell you something.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I want to see what these are, but it's nothing new for
no,
American actors to go and do this stuff. I mean, we've had John Travolta, Leonardo DiCaprio do
some respected actors.
Yeah,
commercial work.
Val Kilmer done.
They're selling out over there, so they don't get no shit
over here. Yes, yeah,
exactly.
They're keeping. That's exactly what it is. I don't care what they say. They're keeping credibility over here while making a buck over there. 'Cause we don't see that shit.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor was doing some shit over there, so it's British people doing it too.
I mean, Lost in Translation, Bill Murray's character. That's what he was.
That's what he was doing.
He was doing commercials over there.
He's
a well-respected actor over here. Yeah.
Yeah, and these motherfuckers are sneaking off,
yeah,
trying to moonlight and shit, thinking, well, ain't nobody gonna find out about this, but they know even more. I mean, not today. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, because actors are doing it over here. I mean, you got fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones pimping out T-Mobile now.
You got Jackie Chan selling Pepsi. Jackie Chan, what are you doing?
Everybody has their price, and it might not be.
You are right.
If they're not doing hand over fist in front of you, they're doing it in another country somewhere.
That's true. Yeah.
So don't think all this shit about integrity. Ain't nobody got it no more.
If you're an actor, you don't have no
integrity. The actors got to eat.
You got to lose that. That's the first thing they teach you in acting. You got to lose all of that.
Yeah. What are you talking about? This is an email that's going to just be too long to get into. I'll save it for next week.
Right.
Somebody asked about Birth of a Nation. That is something I can get deeply into here. Because they said with it, you had all the white characters in Birth of a Nation being in blackface. And I'm just I'm not reading the email. I'm just giving the summary of it. He says now with Tropic Thunder, it's come full circle with Robert Downey Jr. being in blackface. And let me just say that it's really
the apocalypse.
It hasn't come full circle because Birth of a Nation, regardless of what you hear about that movie, it's a D.W. Griffith movie. And look it up. Well, I'll talk about it next week. But it was D.W. Griffith came out and apologized later for it, and I think tried to play it down. But it was a racist piece of propaganda. And look, even I kind of thought it was kind of funny because it talked about how the Klan came to existence and black people took over the government and they were going crazy. I mean, they're propped up in the White House with their feet all up on the tables and shit, smoking and just going nuts.
Did it become like that movie, Idiocracy?
No, it became like it became more like anarchy. It was something like where the black people were terrorizing the white women, and the white man had to do something to defend their honor and their race. And what happened was, check this out. A gust of wind blew through and blew a sheet off of a clothing line. And the black people thought it was a ghost. And they were like, and they thought like, whoa, Feets, don't fail me now. No, it's a ghost.
No, that's terrible.
Come on, Feets.
Oh, no.
But then, and so the white people looked at it and says, that is what we'll do. will dress like ghosts and chase the black people out. And okay, now they dressed up in sheets, and therefore the Klan was born.
Oh,
and so
my God.
So you kind of got the gist of it there. So
This is a movie?
It hasn't really come full circle because Tropic Thunder was not racist. In fact, they had a character to point out how ridiculous that character was being.
Right.
They had a balance, and they knew they had to have that. This movie was people in blackface trying to tell you how scary and evil black people are. So, and we are sometimes, but hey, who isn't these days? Like I said, everybody's afraid, right? And somebody sent me to it was Deadpool. Deadpool sent me to look at that article about the Whopper. Speaking of Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and I was surprised.
Okay, before you go off on him about what he sent you, have you heard that guy on like any of the blog talk radios? Have you heard him? Like, have you heard what he sounds like? Have you heard his voice?
I was on one. Look, why? Because I think I heard him.
That guy has a voice for radio, dude.
Does he?
I listened to this guy. I accidentally stumbled on one of the blog talks. I can't remember what it was. I'm sorry, guys. But I just heard this guy, and I was laughing my ass off. Not so much because how he sounded. He had like this kind of New Jersey kind of accent. I couldn't quite place it, but goddamn, is that guy entertaining? I'd almost want us to. I almost want to hire that guy to be on one of our shows because I'll tell you what,
don't
man.
put that out there. 'Cause I'm never going to hear the end of it.
I want to show with that guy, Corey. And oh my God, I don't think I'll get a single word in because I'll be laughing the whole damn time that guy is talking.
Is he that funny?
He is that funny. I mean, I don't think.
I thought he was kind of weird at first.
He is weird.
He was very nice to me, but there was one part where
I love that
I
guy.
was doing a blog talk show, and Blog Talk Radio should be giving me a check. By the way, I've sent them so many people to do that shit.
I know,
and
man.
I think
You
it's
started
great,
a whole
man.
revolution.
A revolution.
Blog Talk Revolution.
Blog Talk Radio. That's what that
I
woman says.
hate that voice. Every time I hear that, I'm like, I want to turn it off.
Man, they should be sending me a check. I
they
recruited
should.
so many people to do the stuff on that show, and I'm very happy to see people doing that. But I did one show where Deadpool was typing in Jews or something like that. I'm like, so what the fuck is going on with this guy? I kind of got offended. I was like, is he talking about Jewish people? I was like, I don't like this, man.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell if he was playing around or not. But hey, I'll tell you this much: he's been really nice to me. He's a real cool guy. I don't know what exactly was going on, but I wasn't paying attention. But you say he's really good.
I'm a fan of his voice, and anything that comes out of his mouth, I'm laughing my ass off. I don't know what he's saying half the time, but boy, am I laughing.
Well, what are we going to want him for if he can't talk?
He's great. I mean, he's like, you guys are really boring. The show was boring, but I just came on here to say hello, but your show is boring right now. I'm bored. And I kind of
like that.
Yeah, exactly. And he has that whole.
Thank you all.
I know if we can somehow train him, develop him as a radio.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I am Deadpool. I just called into the show because number one, you two guys are boring, and I figure I grace you with my presence.
It sounds like John Lennon.
You're boring.
I'm sorry. Thank you all.
I'm sorry I brought this up, but no, I was laughing.
I like to do a better show than you two.
Oh my God.
I know one man.
I'm choking right now with laughter. Exactly. But no, we need to make that guy famous. I'm sorry.
All right, well, we got to get to ourselves first. But he sent me a picture of Robert Downey Jr. And, not a picture.
And he sent you the
story.
And he sent you the link.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Some people in the story that we're talking about. Co-host told me last week that Robert Downey Jr. turned his life around when he was eating a Whopper.
Right.
And I was like, some people find God. This motherfucker found a hamburger.
He found God in a Whopper. Yeah.
I thought that was. I didn't know what to make of that story, but apparently somebody reported.
You didn't believe me. And he sent you the link.
Yeah, and he sent me the link.
Awesome.
And apparently it's true. Yeah.
Thank you, Deadpool.
They should have. I really think now that they should. Burger King should hire that guy.
Yeah, they should.
And you know what? They should have him do it in blackface, like from Tropic Thunder. I'm the dude disguised with another dude giving you the Whopper.
And he needs to at least say "mammy" at least once.
Mammy, and take a bite.
Mammy, yeah. Love that Whopper. Mammy. Another Whopper, mammy.
With fries.
That's terrible, Corey.
Oh, you started this shit. Don't you come to me with this shit.
No, I didn't. I love your people.
People of the sun.
Right.
Kissed by the sun. And finally somebody says, is your dad really that old? And I said, my dad is something like pushing almost 90, 85 or something. Yes, my dad is that old. So,
hey, good for you, Dad.
My dad told, my dad will sit up there and tell you, I found, I don't know what he was in World War II. They said, was he really in World War II? I'm like, yes, he was. He stood around and talked to me. He'd say, you know, we got Hitler. I got Hitler. I found Hitler. It was like, no, Hitler was in his bunker. They didn't want a black man to find him, so they put him back in.
Does your dad really sound like that?
That's right.
Okay, because now I'm thinking him and Deadpool need to get a show together, and because
my dad,
maybe we shouldn't do that. They may rival our show.
My dad would come in and talk to people. His greeting to everyone was always, good evening, Willie Coleman.
Corey Coleman's dad, I find your show boring.
Yeah. Good evening, Willie Coleman. And him Deadpool.
Yeah, I think your show's boring. Now, what do you think of Punisher fighting Spider-Man? What do you think as far as who do you think would be the victor of that battle?
What the hell are you talking about? This ain't no job for a man.
All right, enough of you because you were boring. I love that kid. I love that guy.
Anyway, let's go ahead and end this, man.
All right. Hey, it was fun.
It was great, man. It was a wonderful time. Yeah.
Another
Give
good
me 5.
time.
Oh, you ain't got no arms.
Hit my head, dude. Hit it, touch it, love it. There you go. Ow.
All right. So we're out of here. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Good night.
Yeah,
Punk
go to
ass
hell.
people.